Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? This is Sick in the Head. Basically, this is a new comic book that I wanted to review. I'm going to be doing a lot of new reviews for the next couple of videos because I love doing opinions about certain stuff, which I am going to do, but I'm going to do more like comic book stuff to see what people think of the issues that they're buying. One of the issues that I bought recently is a comic book called Lot 13, written by my favorite author and idol, basically Steve Niles, excuse me. Steve Niles wrote this comic book. Basically, it's funny with him. Before I get to what this comic book is about, Steve Niles, for those who aren't familiar with his work, he's done comic books like Batman, Gotham After Midnight. He's written Edge of Doom. He's done a lot of great comic books, and the reason why I wanted to review this comic book is it just came out, and a lot of people don't really seem to know what this book is about. But basically, what the story is about is this is a story about an all-American family who's trying to move into a new home and finds out that the home that they were moving into had a little problems with the real estate, so they had to stay in this motel, which is Lot 13. And then they find out that the house that the motel that they were staying in is haunted by ghosts. As you can see here, the ghosts look very disturbing, quite graphic. Just to give you an idea what this book looks like inside, you get a sense that, I apologize, this is kind of like what the story looks like. As you can see, this family is already going through, this is issue number 3, of course, and this family is already going through a bloody experience. As you can see, the artwork is amazing. I mean, this is like definitely A plus artwork. Just to give you an idea as to how graphic, take a look at this. I mean, this is the mind of Steve Niles. I mean, this man really dug deep and he really gave a phenomenal story. I mean, I'm just turning pages to give you an idea, but this is amazing graphic storytelling. Classic horror comics for anybody. Take a look at this page here. This is beautiful. This is basically like some of the most amazing artwork I've seen from Steve Niles ever. I mean, this is a story that he really dug deep. I mean, you could tell that Glenn really put his heart and soul into the comic book. Just to give you another quick page down here, take a look at this. You know, this is exactly what Steve Niles wanted to show people, that he is a true visionary and he wants to show people that, you know what, horror can come back into comics. You know, this is a very good story because this family is going through an extraordinary experience. I mean, it in the next couple of issues, because we only have 4 and 5 left, we'll try to find out why this family is being targeted and why are they going through this hell, because I won't spoil too much of the story. But just, I'm going to show you one more page so I don't ruin everything. This is how the ghosts like to fuck with people's heads. Like, this is a scene where his whole entire family is being killed, and even though this book is kind of like The Shining in a way, like it does have like a Stephen King type of feel, but it's very graphic, very, very violent gore stuff, the kind of stuff that anyone who's a fan of Steve Niles or is a fan of horror would love. Stuff like this. I mean, just to show you, take a look at this. Number 3, I have to admit, is probably the best issue I read so far. I mean, just, you know, it's almost like it's like I'm reading this and I'm telling myself this is well worth the buy. I mean, normally Steve Niles likes to work with, you know, artists that look, you know, the artwork looks kind of funny looking, but yet his name kind of brings the artwork to life because he is a great writer. But This issue, I have to tell you, of Lot 13, number 3, is probably the best issue I've read yet, because the other two issues are more like backstories. And as you can see, just take a look at this. I mean, this is true masterpiece by Glenn. I mean, Glenn has dug deep too, and he's made this artwork come to life. I mean, I'm just showing you images of just what to look forward to when you pick up this comic book. As I go a little closer, this is without no doubt the best comic book that Steve Niles has done in a long time. I mean, I really love Steve Niles' graphic comic books because he really, if you're really a fan of horror movies, you'll love horror comics because he really makes it interesting and he makes it, fun, entertaining, and most of all, definitely make it for the fans. I'm a big fan of his horror comics in the gore sense. Some of his thriller stuff is okay, but for the most part, this is amazing work. This is they really dug deep here. Just I'm showing you a preview basically as to what it looks like in the issue of Lot 13, and I'm telling you, this is well worth the buy. I mean, if you take a look at the images that are being shown here, just to give you an idea, this is truly a masterpiece. And just to show you, let me go a couple of pages in. Take a look at this last page. I mean, this is what really the way comic books should be. This is the last page, and on page 22, as you can see at the bottom, to be continue. So like I said, this is without no doubt an A plus. Steve Niles really dug deep on this one. I won't go too much into the story because I don't want to spoil any important information that you might want to read on this comic, but definitely the artwork is a true masterpiece. Steve Niles has really dug deep in telling a very good horror story. This is probably the deepest he's ever done with most of his comics. And what I mean by deep is basically, he works with great artists like, Bernie Wrightson, and he's worked with Ben Temple Smith. But this work is without no doubt the best stuff he's ever written. And, this is some of the stuff that he needs to go back. I hope that he works with Glenn again because, these two are a team. I mean, I love that Glenn's artwork is just what's so amazing. I mean, take a look at that and you tell me, is this pure masterpiece or what? Steve Niles, Lot 13, issue number 3, I give it an A. I mean, this is truly some of the best stuff, and there's more to come. And like I said, I'm just giving you a little teaser as to show you what to expect when you pick up this comic. I am going to pick up Lot 13, number 4, so I'll do a review on that. And like I said, I'm not trying to claim credit for Steve. I mean, this is his work. I'm just basically giving people a preview. I did buy it from the store, so I'm not trying to be a jerk, and I'm not trying to, claim any copyrights. I'm just doing a little review to get people interested in what looks to be probably one of the best comic books that Steve Niles done. So, I hope you hit me up with your comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about the images I've shown you. I apologize. This is my first comic book review, and I did in a long time. I used to do a lot of movie reviews and a while back, but I stopped doing that because sometimes Universal and everybody gets pissed off. So I stopped doing it. So I figured, you know what? Let me do book reviews because I love books, particularly comic books, and I do reviews about them all the time. So I figure, let me talk about it and let the world know about what this new issue is all about. So as I flip the comic book over, like I said, pick this up. It's called Lot 13, issue number 3, written by Steve Niles. So check it out. It's well worth the buy. And I will do future reviews. And Like I said, hit me up with your comments. Tell me what you think. The cover artwork again is an A plus. I enjoyed this book and it was well worth the buy. So I'll be doing more comic book reviews. You all take care of yourself. This is Sick in the Head. Like I always say at the end, use your mind. It's your best weapon. And I hope that everybody picks up the comic book, enjoys it, and if you're a big fan of horror, you'll love stuff like this. So take care of yourself and have a great night.